Good afternoon, Radio Faithfuls. You are welcome to the 2 p.m. news over Reality 8.4 FM. Let's have the headlines. In order to mark the ongoing bilingualism week in Cameroon, the Ministry of Territorial Administration has organized a linguistic quiz for administrative staff. The initiative aims to enhance English and French proficiency across Cameroon's civil service. Plus, with just 6 days to the National Youth Day celebration in Cameroon, a significant number of Cameroonian youth say they are still in the dark regarding this year's official theme.
No, I don't actually know the theme of the Youth Day this year.
I don't know the theme of this year's National Youth Day because it doesn't concern me anymore.
Out of the country, Nigeria authorities report that at least 200 people have been killed following coordinated attacks in Kwara State. These figures remain preliminary as investigation is still ongoing. And in sports, two delayed day 3 games of the Elite One Championship will swing into action this afternoon to put a cap to match day 3 of the Elite One Championship. Those were the headlines. Stay tuned for the development of these stories and several others. We begin the news with the upcoming Youth Days as Cameroonians gear up to celebrate the National Youth Day in a few days. We look at status quo and anticipation of the youth. Our reporter Ngang Nadesh took to the streets to ask some Cameroonian youths if they know this year's theme and whether it resonates with them. Here's our report.
Delving into the atmosphere of anticipation and preparations for the Youth Day celebrations, it is worth noting that some youths are neither aware nor engaged. Renard is one of them. He says he was more engaged in such activities during his school days.
No, I don't actually know the theme of the Youth Day this year. It's when I was actually back in my school days that I used to take the Youth Days very serious. But since I'm no more into schooling, I don't follow up about the Youth Day.
Boris shares a similar view, stating that the government often makes promises to support the youth but fails to deliver tangible help.
I don't know the theme of this year's National Youth Day because it doesn't concern me anymore. And not only that, because each time they bring up things that will favor or be in favor for the youth, you will come to realize that those same youths that government keep on announcing them as the bright future of tomorrow, you will see them hawking out, being bike riders, truck pushers, and so on and so forth. So
he adds that instead of focusing on the celebrations, he is prioritizing finding opportunities to improve his life.
I, as a youth as well, it has been quite difficult and puzzling on your own side, doing some kind of odd jobs of which you have the government to sustain you and provide you a better future.
Since its inception in 1966, annually celebrated on the 11th of February, the day originates from the 1961 plebiscite in West Cameroon.
And from Ngang Nadesh, we are now less than 5 days to the Diamond Jubilee of the National Youth Day in Cameroon, an event generally characterized by march past, cultural activities, arts expositions in schools, and many others. In this regard, Evans William Jobati approached some school dropouts to know if they still have interest in celebrating this 11th of February feast. Here's his report.
Personally, I think I have nothing to do with the youth activities. It has never really been significant. The significance of the event is very minimal to me. I don't see a very important march past has.
These are the voices of some young citizens who, after their school days, lost interest in the Youth Day celebrations. Despite being nostalgic, Sagli, who became an educator, does not see how useful these activities are to him.
Earlier in my secondary school life, when we used to go for march past, be given money and we go and eat and do some activity. Yes, maybe then it just tries to remind us of the government endeavor to, let's say, use the optionalism aspect of education to bring youth to work for unity, peace, which is a very important aspect though.
Hamed, who is into business, reiterates that the feast and its build-ups do not concern him in any way.
it does not really concern me, not just because of the fact that I stopped schooling, but for the reason that I see little or no importance. Because during this period, it is noted that many people do not go to schools to learn, many people go and carry out different activities, many extracurricular activities is carried out. It also falls at the same moment with bilingualism week, making the children to participate in many activities.
Nevertheless, both youth bear the opinion that these Youth Day activities are in a way essential for the creation of a united, creative and multicultural Cameroon.
The aim of the government is just to make us to avoid fighting each other and stuff like that, but it doesn't have any impact on our well-being. Do not consider the Youth Day celebration. Though the importance is not related to the march past, but the interactions that occur within the youth. See schools go and play against other schools, carry out different activities. These activities are of a very great importance to the student, consciously or unconsciously. Some people get to meet their wives, some people get to meet their husband, some people get to learn skills.
It should be noted that the Diamond Jubilee has been slated for Wednesday, February 11, 2026.
In prelude to the National Youth Day celebration, several activities leading up to the day are always organized. One of them is the sensitization of youths about the importance of learning their mother tongue. Fini Crispin spoke with some parents on whether or not they teach their offsprings their mother tongue and why it is important to them. She compiled this report.
The mother tongue, or the first language, is also known as a native language spoken by an ethnic group. To some parents, it is very important that their offspring understand and speak their mother tongue. Mama Juliana has taken it as a challenge to teach her 6 children the mother tongue for some reasons.
It's very, very important to know your mother tongue because there are certain things that you cannot discuss in the midst of people that are hearing the language that you are speaking. When you understand your language with your children, even if you people are aware, population is there, you are capable to discuss with your children and understand yourself. And if there is danger that is coming towards you people, then you talk through your dialect and you people will be safe.
Despite the limited knowledge Grace has about her mother tongue, she has resolved to teach her daughter the little she knows.
The little I know, I transmit it to my daughter, and this is because I believe that she needs to have a good base mother tongue, as it represents one of the ways to get easily in touch with her culture.
Susan, on her part, attests it will be challenging for her kids to learn their mother tongue due to the fact that
I was not fortunate to have learned my mother tongue, so I can't say I will be able to pass on that culture to my baby. However, there are some persons who are out there to make sure that the mother tongue doesn't disappear. So they organize classes for that, and I intend, when the time is right, to register my son for those classes, hoping that even if I was not able to learn it, at least he will be able to learn it and the culture will continue.
it is worth noting that Cameroon is home to at least 250 languages, with some accounts reporting around 600.
In line with Cameroon's National Bilingualism Week, the Ministry of Territorial Administration is actively promoting linguistic fluency among staff. On February 4, 15 personnel drawn from the ministry, the ministers, the governor's office, and the SDO's office participated in a specialized bilingualism quiz. The initiative is designed to enhance proficiency in both official languages across the civil service. Weribis Luther Tube is the head of divisions of translation and the promotion of bilingualism at the Ministry of Territorial Administration. He provides an assessment of the exercise and its impact, plus the success of the initiative.
The objective of this session is to encourage the staff of the ministry here in Yaoundé, of the central service, and also of the external services, to be able to have interest in speaking both the languages. And you see, last year we started the exercise of bringing in staff from the subdivisions of Yaoundé, the divisional officers office and the governor's office. We continued this year, but changed the type of the exam. So, and with this, it's encouraging them to be able to know that it's good to speak both French and English, and also write, to be able to be of more use to the users that will come for our services. I will looking forward, God willing, and depending on also the means, why not move out of Yaoundé and go beyond? So that is our wish, but all that depends on what is made available. But so far, we want to also, first of all, thank the hierarchy for making available the means for us to do that which we have been doing now for the past 5 years. Because I think the first year we had an essay, last year we had a written exam, but this one is a quiz, something you just have 10 seconds you've got to answer. So it tickles the brain, you've got to act and reason very fast.
Away from there, Calm has returned to the port of Douala after weeks of tension surrounding the scanning of imported goods. The general manager of the Douala Port Authority has moved to implement the Prime Minister's decision, bringing the dispute to an end and reopening debates on the impact of the crisis resolution on Cameroon's economy. Now, is there a possibility for confidence to be restored among economic operators and for Cameroonians to recover from the recent crisis? Jeffrey Tachum spoke to an expert and now reports.
According to Valerie Asundeb, there are high chances that the Prime Minister's decision instructing the Ports Authority to maintain existing contract with the scanning company for the next 6 years will restore confidence within economic operators.
We're talking about legal and contractual stability. Now, economic operators value predictability. Upholding a long-term contract avoids abrupt changes, reduce litigation risk, such as potential penalties for breaches, and signals respect for international partnership. Now, the second part.
And in terms of potential gains that the Douala Port Authority could generate, the economic experts points out trade facilities and cost reduction for operation, among others.
You'll see that Douala handles the bulk of Cameroon import and exports. Efficient scanning, it's better. It's something that will be potentially boosting the customs revenue and reducing under invoices. The second one is cost reduction for operation. Ending uncertainty avoids surcharges. Everybody knows this. Double payments and rerouting cargoes. Now, the industrial groups have warned of production threats from delays, resumption, supporting manufacturing and exports.
However, the full benefits are not guaranteed yet due to ongoing policy implementation challenges.
If the SGS operation resume smoothly and transparently, confidence should rebound quickly. If residual tension persists, that is from prior institutional rift, short-term gain could be limited. So overall, by ending weeks of tension and prioritizing continuity, the decision appears to be a pragmatic step towards stabilizing a critical economic artery.
As activities gradually return to normal at the Douala Port Authority, attention is now turned towards the real impact of the Prime Minister's decision. Beyond ending the administrative rift, question remains whether Cameroon's economy will come out stronger and witness tangible benefits.
It's now time for us to head out of the country to see what is making news out of Cameroon. And for that, we have our editor-in-chief and senior reporter, Mapala Zita. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Brian.
Zita, the death toll in Nigeria's Kwara State armed attack has risen to nearly 200 people.
Gunmen have killed close to 200 people in western and northern Nigeria. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has announced the deployment of an army battalion to the western state of Kwara after gunmen stormed the community of Woro, killing at least 170 people. In the meantime, another 21 persons were killed in a separate attack in the city of Katsina in northern Nigeria, with gunmen murdering people as they move from house to house. In a statement published on social media last evening, President Tinubu said the military commander would spearhead the efforts condemning the attack as cowardly and barbaric. Though no group has claimed responsibility yet, residents told the media that the attackers were religious hardliners who had long preached in the village, urging locals to abandon the Nigerian state.
Human Rights Watch has warned that the global system of human rights is in peril due to relentless pressure from some world powers.
In its annual World Report 2026, Human Rights Watch is warning that the global system of human rights is in peril, with 72% of the world's population now living under autocracy. The report published yesterday states that the United States of America, China, and Russia are led by leaders who share open disdain for norms and wield considerable economic, military, and diplomatic power. According to the executive director of Human Rights Watch, Philippe Bolopion, the rules-based international order is being crushed, threatening to take with it the architecture human rights defenders have come to rely on due to advanced norms and protect freedom. This because of the relentless pressure from US President Donald Trump, which has been persistently undermined by China and Russia.
There's definitely more news in your file, Zita.
Most definitely, Brian. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has launched a fierce attack on his former US ambassador Peter Mandelson today, seeking to assuage anger from across British politics, saying he was sorry he had believed the lies before appointing Mandelson. Starmer is under huge pressure, including from lawmakers in his own Labour Party, over the decision to make Mandelson Britain's envoy to Washington in December 2024, when his ties to the late US sex offender Jeffrey Epstein were already known. Files released by the U.S. Justice Department last week include emails highlighting just how close the relationship was, and also suggested Mandelson had leaked government documents to Epstein, and that Epstein had recorded payments to Mandelson or his then partner, now husband. And then 3 Chinese lawmakers with ties to the defense sector have been removed from their positions. This, according to state media, in the wake of an investigation of the nation's top general, just as Beijing tries to modernize its military. The announcement last evening by Xinhua news agency did not give a reason for the dismissals or say that the lawmakers, who are from the defense, aerospace, and nuclear industries, were on the investigation. In President Xi Jinping's year-long corruption purge, the Defense Ministry said on January 24th it was investigating General Zhang Youxiao, who is second only to Xi in China's military leadership, over suspected serious violations of discipline and the law. The probe of Zhang, seen as a top Xi ally, meant the US lost a respected, well-known contact with China's military, as successive US administrations have worked to build senior level ties to avoid mishaps between the world's 2 most powerful militaries. Back to you, Brian.
We talk sports beginning in Douala, where the architectural beauty of the Japoma Sports Complex in Douala will be on the spotlight this weekend during the first ever Japoma Diamonds Days. For 3 days, beginning from Friday, the complex will grant unrestricted access to the general public, allowing citizens to tour the facilities firsthand. Providing further insight into the event, Administrator of UNES, Felix Ewane, highlights the importance of showcasing the complex value to the nation.
This is coming after what we did in Yaoundé, in Olembe for 3 days also, after Olembe Golden Weeks. Now we are doing Japoma Diamond Days. The idea is to get the population of Douala know the beauty of what they have, appreciate the joy that they have been granted to them by the health state. So we are going to open everything, no taboo. People will visit every single space of the stadium and get their own idea. It's a luxurious stadium like you can have in any modern country. It's among the best stadia of Africa. So it's time for people of Douala to realize what they have in their town and for them to enjoy all those infrastructure. We have several football pitches. We have many outdoor facilities for basketball, for football, for volleyball, tennis. We have 2 athletic tracks, very modern, ultra-modern gymnasium. We have an aqua center, a swimming pool, Olympic swimming pool. So all these facilities have to be discovered and the population has to enjoy those facilities.
Cameroon's under-17 Lions have entered the 10th day of preparation in camp ahead of the under-17 tournament in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Following 2 days of medical screening, coach Seydou Alum's 30-man squad returned to pitch on Wednesday, February 4 for double training sessions. Notably, 4 friendly games have been scheduled before the camp concludes, following their first 2 friendly games in a build-up to the UNIFAC tournament. In the meantime, the Confederation of African Football CAF yesterday conducted the draw for the upcoming UNIFAC tournament, where Cameroon has been paired in Group B alongside Gabon and Equatorial Guinea. Group A features the host Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Central African Republic. In women's football, Cameroon's under-20 Lionesses will this Saturday, February 7, clash with their counterparts from Botswana in the first leg of the 3rd qualifying round for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Chile. In prelude to the said game, Evans Williams-Jobati approached a sports expert on Cameroon's chances and compiled the following excerpt.
Looking at the list of Hassan Bala, the interim coach of the under-20 Lionesses, could not say that these are the best players because they is not running. The Women's Super League will begin this weekend. We haven't had time to really watch these players in action, and that's why on the list you are going to find a couple of players, about 9 or 10, coming from the inferior leagues, mostly academies. It's a mixture of players who played the under-17 recently in the likes of Ange Tanzano of Francois FC and Tiwa Melong Lise Fresh of Lekie Football Fee. I mean, it's just a graduation of these players from the under-17 to the under-20 category. They have played the under-17 World Cup. They have the experience. It's natural that Hassan Bala, who was assist at the level of the under-17 World Cup, now takes them for the under-20 World Cup qualifiers. It's a natural progression for most of these players, with some reinforcement from academies, from the regional league. And the fact that we haven't had a running championship has made it difficult for Coach Hassan Bala to really get the best of the best. But so far, he's going to begin with this list, and we'll see what happens next.
It's now time for us to have a summary of this newscast in the French language, presented for us by Olivier Ndemaipo. Good afternoon.
Bon après-midi, Biwa Brian. Fête nationale de la jeunesse, la 11e est déjà entamée et l'on n'est plus qu'à 5 jours de la cérémonie prévue le 11 février. Diverses activités viennent préparer la célébration et accompagner les jeunes en cette 60e édition de la Fête nationale de la jeunesse. L'une de ces activités est la sensibilisation de la jeunesse sur l'importance de la maîtrise des langues maternelles. Hors de nos frontières, au Nigeria, des terroristes tuent près de 200 villageois dans la localité de Woro, dans l'état de Kwara. La Croix-Rouge précise que l'attaque s'est produite hier. Il s'agit de l'un des pires massacres au Nigeria depuis plusieurs mois. L'état de Kwara est l'un des terrains de prédilection de bandes armées qui kidnappent et terrorisent des populations. À ceci s'ajoutent les raids fréquents de terroristes djihadistes. Sport, football, le championnat Elite One 2026 est rendu à sa 3e journée. Hier mercredi, 5 rencontres se sont disputées sur les 7 au programme. Les 2 dernières sont annoncées ce jour. PWD de Bamenda va recevoir Gazelle de Garoua, tandis que Fauve Azur de Yaoundé sera aux prises avec l'Unisport du Honkam. Les 2 matchs débutent à 15h30.
We have now reached the end of today's edition of the 2 p.m. news over Reality 8.4 FM. The news was technically produced by Yurish Kemwe. For production assistance on the cameras, we had Brian Bidan, Alen Kwekam for production assistance, Frinwe Crispin. Script editing was done for us by Mapala Zita. Editorial coaching came in from Abel Bela Samari. Coordination we had from the station's manager, Roger Kiek, and for general supervision, the Reverend Pastor Bisai Emmanuel Noel. For presentation, my name is Biwa Brian, setting up the stage for you, where you are going to have some good music that will be selected for us by Yurish Kemo. In the meantime, stay tuned.